Oh boy, we have made it to the top 10. My true top 10 favorite movies of all time. Yeah, so kicking out the list at number 10, we have Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. The definition of an adventure movie done right and what an adventure movie should be. I always love revisiting watching this movie. Like, even growing up, I loved watching this movie. Like, it's so iconic for a reason. Harrison Ford is amazing as the central character here. The iconic score, the memorable characters, the amazing adventure aspect, the incredible action sequence. Do remind you of that freaking boulder sequence. But come on down, you got some incredible action, some great character interactions, a very interesting story. Like, this one could not have been more amazing in terms of adventure, and more honestly, everything holds up. This is a film I always love coming back to, and I hold in such a high regard. At number 9, we got one of the most real movies ever made, and that is Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting, truly a phenomenal film that's incredibly personal, real, and emotional. And one that I think a lot of it connects to, especially with Matt Damon's character. You may seem like I have an ass here, but when you find like who he is more as a character and what he does, you can definitely understand where he's coming from. And sure, how he is kind of something we all felt at one point in our lives. But definitely, of course, stand as Robin Williams. Despite how much I love his performance as Aladdin, this has always been my favorite performance moment, especially this one scene he has where Matt Damon where he says, "It's not your fault. It's not your fault." Like, that scene alone makes this performance the best. Man, I miss Robin Williams. Like, the relationship between these two characters is also what makes me so real and emotional. Truly a personal film that I love coming back to when I can, and truly a reminder of why I love movies and how personal it gets. While only number 9, I still adore everything about Good Will Hunting. At number 8, we of course have the original Star Wars. An iconic film that is enough film that I don't know what else to say, has something to say. Like, I think it's best if you share that my review I did with Ren Geekness back, I think like in May, I believe, is when I started, as I mentioned, I'm viewing every single Star Wars movie, and I might have my review with Just Sith coming very soon. It depends on if my person can get their video, but I don't know, the original Star Wars is iconic for a reason. It inspired so many films, so many people. It built an amazing world with iconic characters and iconic people, with an incredible world, like I mentioned, amazing effects that still hold up 42 years later. Like, so iconic that there really is nothing else I can add that has already been said. Again, I feel like I'm being a dead horse at this point, but Star Wars, the original, is still an amazing rewatch about them. We got another iconic movie at the number 7, and that is the amazing Forrest Gump. My mom always said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. I might not be a smart man, but I know what love is. Like, Tom Hanks, like, as mentioned before, he is my favorite actor of all time, and he delivers probably his best role he has ever given in this movie. Like, it's iconic for a reason. Like, the story is iconic for a reason, and it's one film I always watch at least once every year, and for damn good reason. The story is iconic, the performances are amazing. Making St. Forrest Gump go through all these events, it's pretty fun, but also pretty emotional at the same time, and especially seeing Forrest just run. Like, how is that not a great sequence? And you get a pretty emotional and sad ending. Brenda, you got an amazing score, phenomenal directing, fantastic writing. And I always make sure I visit the movie at least once every year, and for that good reason. There's a reason why Forrest Gump is considered one of the all-time best. And for me, deserved all the Oscar nominations it won. Even Best Picture, yes, even that. Circle of Life. Number 6 is The Lion King. Dementia is the best animated film of all time. But The Lion King, most of you expect, because I mentioned this is probably my favorite anime movie of all time, and to me it's such a very iconic and incredible movie. It's one of the films that really it's hard not to like, honestly. I love his doing thanks to his memorable characters, breathtaking animation, fantastic soundtrack, compelling themes that I think a lot of us can relate to, especially with facing your problems instead of running from it. Like, that's something we all can relate to in so many levels. Like, hell, like I still adore every single thing about this movie, and as much as I like the remake, I would watch the original over the remake in a heartbeat. Well, folks, we're now in the top 5. And number 5, we have my favorite war movie of all time, Saving Private Ryan. Yeah, Saving Private Ryan, it's definitely another Spielberg classic. And it's really a definition of what the war movies can do with the rest. Like, I'm not really the hugest fan of war movies. Like, I don't hate war movies, honestly. There are some other great ones, like Hacksaw Original one, but they're just not my type of genre. But for me, this is definitely what a genre can do at the best, honestly. Like, this is a true classic movie with amazing acting, amazing sequences, especially with the opening sequence. That's probably one of the best opening sequences ever, period. A fantastic score, thrilling sequences, despite from being very long, it never drags at all. And you get some characters that are very compelling and very interesting, and the war setting is amazing. I'll mention that's one of the most beautifully shot movies I've ever seen. And you got a movie that I always love revisiting, and I always love coming back to it. It's definitely a very tense and not an easy watch, but I still adore everything about Saving Private Ryan. At number 4, we have my favorite horror movie of all time, and that is A Nightmare on Elm Street. This is a horror movie that I always make sure I watch every October, pretty much since I first saw it back, I think when I was in horror movies in the 4th grade. As I said, I've been watching this movie at least once every October. I mean, why wouldn't I? This movie is iconic for a reason. It's definitely what horror movies can do at absolute best. It's also the first horror movie that actually scared and terrified me. Like, I remember being so scared and actually terrified when I first saw this movie. Well, I don't really fully get terrified and scared for horror movies, honestly. Like, I remember I used to be terrified that monsters come in the closet. Like, I wasn't that terrified now. This movie is still a definition of what horrors can do at absolute best. With characters that you actually care about, an amazing killer, Robert Englund giving a phenomenal performance, an amazing female lead that's definitely one of the best final girls ever. I actually did a list of my favorite final girls if you have not checked that out. And great combat that takes advantage and gets some incredible kills, especially from the singing into bed sequence with all the blood spitting out, and there's a lot of classic kills, a lot of classic sequences, and Freddy Krueger is a very iconic villain, and while the sequels never really matched the part, some of them still good, some of them still pretty bad, but they can never come close to the original movie that still holds up amazingly 35 years later. Top 3, people! And I'm trying most of the time number top 3 if you've followed my channel for a very long time, but let's get to them. Coming in number 3. Number 3, we have my favorite superhero movie of all time, and that is Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. As I mentioned before, not the only time we want to see Christopher Nolan on this list, and what is also about Dark Knight? It's truly the definition of a perfect superhero movie, and that doesn't even feel like a superhero movie. Movie actually just feels like more of a crime thriller and crime drama, and that aspect is truly amazing. Finding that Christian Bale once again delivering his probably my personal favorite Bruce Wayne / Batman. And of course, you got the iconic Heath Ledger Joker performance, which this might be my favorite performance of all time, honestly. This is definitely the best portrayal of the Joker ever. I don't think any performance is going to top this, honestly. Even Joaquin Phoenix, honestly, and he's a phenomenal actor. Like, the Joker is personally my favorite villain of all time, as I mentioned before. I don't know if I have, but he is what everything that the Joker should be. Like, not that Heath Ledger was going to deliver, and it's fortunate they passed away before he got the Oscar for this. Rest in peace. but he just knocked it out of the park as the Joker. Like, it's so iconic, I don't know what it hasn't already been said. I don't know if you got some amazing action, gorgeous cinematography, phenomenal directing, some actual tense sequences, and some really tests a lot on Batman as a character. And it's truly a phenomenal film that's the best, that's basically what Batman can do at the absolute best, and pretty much an addition of why Batman is such an iconic hero. Also, why Joker is such an iconic villain. But yeah, phenomenal. At number 2, my second favorite film of all time, Jurassic Park. Such an iconic score. But I don't know if I mentioned before, you probably would if you saw my review I did of this Rhino 2 on my channel. But Jurassic Park was the movie that got me into falling in love with films. Films like, I remember watching one more night and I ended up falling in love with Jurassic Park, and it made me rethink movies in a different light. And this movie, it's such an iconic and incredible film for a reason, and 26 years later, it holds up incredibly well. I actually got to see it in theaters last September, and it was one of my favorite theaters I've ever seen. The film that made me fall in love in movies in the actual theaters. It was amazing. But this film's iconic, got fantastic characters, some of the best effects that you've probably ever seen on screen, incredible storytelling, some incredible tense sequences, some very iconic sequences, especially with the kitchen sequence. Like, Jurassic Park is so iconic. I actually reviewed this with Rhino 2 back in, I think, very last year, in anticipation for Fallen Kingdom. And you can check that review out if you haven't already, along with our other Jurassic Park reviews. But this film is iconic for a reason. It's definitely going to be high up on my best list. This one's always been my second favorite of all time, but I'm asking, what is my actual favorite film of all time? Well, if you've watched my channel for a while, I think most of you wouldn't be surprised that Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, is my favorite film of all time. Like, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this many times along the review I actually also did with Rhino Tool. In addition to both of us reviewed that we both reviewed my two favorite movies of all time, but yeah, Brian Tool, awesome man, be sure to check him out. But anyway, The Empire Strikes Back is such an iconic film for a reason. I know I said that a lot of these movies, but it's definitely true with this movie. This movie, why is probably my favorite also, because this is film I think overall gave me the most emotion. It's a film I always love coming back to every year. It's a film I constantly love to rewatch. It's a film that's given me the most passion and the most love for film. It's pure definition and reminder of why I love films and why I love watching movies. And that's like the first pretty much the pure definition of how you do a sequel right. You take everything that made the original so amazing and you build upon it. And you on every aspect, it's been a lot more darker, a lot more emotional than the original. You get a lot of amazing kind of sequences, like with Luke training Yoda, the Hawk sequence, the final duel with Luke and Vader, of course, the "I am your father" scene, like, of course, with Lando, Boba Fett, and so you get some more amazing of Darth Vader. Got some amazing effects, incredible space sequences, iconic score. In terms of overall films, like, for me, like I mentioned, my number one favorite film every year, it's always the one film that reminds me why I love movies. And while all of these films are definitely a reminder of why I love watching movies after looking back at all of them, I think the overall huge reminder of why I love movies always heads to The Empire Strikes Back. And that personally is why I consider Empire Strikes Back to be my number one favorite film of all time. Well, folks, I hope you all enjoyed me discussing my top 50 favorite films of all time. This was definitely a fun list to do. And again, thank you so much for reaching out to subscribers. I know I have gotten some comments of people saying about subscribers, but I'm not going to say anything about them or whatever. But I'm thankful for everybody that have supported, liked, and watched my videos for so long. It's amazing I got to this point. I hope I can keep growing and keep bringing out this content for you guys. But I hope y'all enjoyed this list. Let me know what you thought about all these parts, and let me know what would be your all-time favorite film list and comment section down below. And I have a lot more content that I have for you guys coming very soon, and I'm very excited to get the content out for you guys. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I honestly truly do appreciate it. It does mean a lot. If you haven't already, be sure to like this video, be sure to share, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow all of my social media sites, all the description down below. I am Samuel One World from Samuel One World Reviews. I will see you next time, and as always, stay cooler, everybody. Peace.